what do you mean by immutable, right? So it is it is okay. It is tempting to use the operator. There is a brackets operator on the left side of an assignment with the intention of changing a character string. So what you do is that usually we know that each and every character within the string has an index value, right? So if you try to change the value of an index, let us look at this one. That is a greeting is on word, right? Its contents is hello, then a comma, then a space followed by word and exclamatory. Then uh, what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to change the value of the first index. That is greeting of 0 is equal to j. I want to, instead of h, I want to change it. I want to make change it to j. So at that time, it will give an error message doesn't stating that object doesn't support assign assignments. What do you mean by that? The object in this case is the string and the item is the character you try to assign it, right? The reason for the error is that strings are immutable, which means you can't change an existing string at all, right? Once you have created a string, you cannot change the contents of a string. Either you cannot change a single character, or you cannot change in multiple characters as well. That is the meaning of the immutable. To avoid this one, if you want to make any changes to an existing word, what is the best option is that you can use the concatenation operation. So look at this example. The same thing has been done with a different approach. What I am doing is that the greeting is equal to hello world. This is as usual. Then followed by what you are doing is that I just wanted to append a j at the first character or at the first index, then followed by or rest of the characters. What I'm doing is that I'm doing a slicing here. I'm doing a slicing from beginning from the first character to up to the end of the list or the end of the string. So now the first character is J and followed by the rest of uh, the the characters from the greeting. Now what happens? You have something called as print new greeting. It shows that J A L L O, then a comma, then space, world, and an exclamation. Meaning that meaning that you cannot change an existing. So in the previous example, what you had done is that you try to or we try to in the first character of the existing string, so which is wrong, so which is not allowed. That's why what you had done is that we have made use of the concatenation operation with the string slicing. So what you had done is that we have appended the first the j at the beginning of the character string, then followed by the all the remaining characters except the first character within the string string object. So what I have done is that I have got the output as JELLO, then followed by what. So this is what you call it as a immutable. So means that strings cannot be changed, the existing strings cannot be changed. So it is called as the string immutable. This example concatenates a new first letter onto a slice of greeting. It has no effect on the original string. Even if I apply the concatenation operation you have, so the string object that is greeting will not be get affected. It will be as it is, but only thing is that I'm creating a new object called as a new greeting, and to this one I'm appending or I'm concatenating these two things, and I'm assigning it to a new greeting. So then finally I'm displaying it on the terminal. So how to make use of an using in operator in to search for an character in an operator. So the in operator can also be used to check to see if one string is in another string or not, or one character is in another character or not. The the in expression is a logical expression and returns true or false and can be used if an in an if statement as well, right? So in is a keyword which can be used to search for a string within a given string, and it will return either a true or false value. It returns either a true or false value, and also it is being used if statement as well. Look at this example. Fruit is equal to banana, right? I'm searching for n in the fruit, so it will. So I'm just searching for n within the string called as a fruit. So whether n is there in the fruit or not. So now n is there in the fruit. That's why it will return a true value. Look at this one. I'm searching for m in the fruit, so it will generate a false message stating that m is not present in the given string, and followed by nan. Nan is in a string. Nan is a substring which is being searched within another string. So I'm looking for nan, which is nothing but which is present in the list, right, or in the string. That's why it generates or it will return a true value. And you look at this one. If a in fruit print, that is found, what is that? If a in true, that is it will be evaluated. This is an expression, that is a logical expression I'm looking for. A in fruit, it will be searched, a will be searched in fruit, and it will generate a true value. If it is true, it will print a message called as a print, found it on the terminal. That is exactly what I am seeing it on the terminal. That is, in keyword is basically used to search for a string in a given string object, and it is also used in a if statement as well. And there is something called as a string comparison. That is, I can compare one string with another string. So look at this one. Word is equal to pineapple, right? I have something called as a word or word object, a string object called as word is equal to pineapple. I'm just checking word equal to banana, whether each character in the pineapple is equal to banana or not, right? Print all right bananas, right? If both the characters string objects are equal, then I'm printing it as all right bananas. And if the if pineapple or the word string object is lesser than the banana, what I'm doing is that your word word comes after before banana, or if word is greater than banana, your word comes after the banana. So all right, the bananas. What do I mean? Hello? Yes? Yeah, we are just checking for the things here, right? I'm just checking for the, I'm just making comparison with each and every character. That is, P is get compared with B. So where P is greater than B, right? Right? That's why it will print something called as word is greater than banana. That is your word. That is pineapple comes after banana. That is what your sorry banana, right? So Python doesn't handle uppercase and lowercase letter the same way that people do. All the uppercase letters comes before all the lowercase lowercase letters. That is what, right? So in this case, all the uppercase letters, that is p p is P appears much before than the V. That's why what it will do is that it will print something called as your world. Pineapple comes before banana. That's what the meaning here. All the uppercase letters come before all the lowercase letters. So your word, that is your word, the pineapple comes before banana. A common way to address this problem is to convert strings to a standard format such as all lowercase letters and before performing the comparison, right? So what I'm doing is that this P is a capital letter, right? P, its ASCII value is lesser than B. That's why what happens here, the your word, that is word is nothing. Pineapple comes before banana. That is, each word will get compared here. Sorry, each character will be get compared. P is having lesser ASCII value than B. That's why this condition is true. That is, word is lesser than banana. That's why your word pineapple comes before banana. So to avoid this one, what we are doing is that we have to convert all the characters within a given string into lowercase letters. So the comparison becomes much easier, and whatever the output you are getting, it will be done. So if we do that one with this example, pineapple, P will be in a lowercase letter, PINEAPPLE. Then banana also in lowercase letter. In that case, this condition holds good. That is, word is greater than banana. That's why your word that is pineapple comes after banana, because p, the small p is lesser than the, sorry, greater than b. That's why uh, the word pineapple comes after the banana. That's what the comparison what we are doing here. Python doesn't handle uppercase and lowercase letters the same way the people do. That is, they are case sensitive. That is a small p is handled differently than capital P as well. So to avoid that one, what you are doing is that we are using a standard format to convert all the characters within a given string to uppercase letters or lowercase letters. So the comparison becomes much easier. And there are some functions which are used to built-in functions which you can use it with the string. So they are called as a string library. Python has a number of string functions which are in the string library. You can use these functions to make some functions or make some operations much easier without writing your own code. What you can do is that uh, you can use the existing library functions, and you can build your own applications. These functions are already built into every string, so you invoke them by appending the functions to the string variable. Right, what you do is that you just append those functions at the end of the string, so and your job is done. These functions do not modify the original string, so try to remember that these functions will not make any modifications to the existing string or the original string. Instead, they return a new string that has been altered string methods. Right, once the functions alters the value, right, it will not be appended within the original string. Instead, what you do is that you can assign it to some other string object as well. Strings are an example of the Python objects, right? So what you know is that the strings are also portrayed as the objects. An object contains both data as well as the methods. So both the object contains both the data as well as the methods. That is that what you have. Methods are effectively functions which that are built into the object and are available to any instance of the object. These methods are built in effectively functions which can be accessed by any instance of the object. The whole idea is that you have a built-in functions, the library functions. These functions can be appended at the end of the uh, string object, and it returns a new string, and that new string will be assigned to some other string object. Let us look at this example here. So there is one string object called as a greet is equal to hello, wow. So what you are doing is that you are using something called as a library function called as a lower, so which will eventually converts all the characters in a given string object into lowercase letters. So to have that one, the greet, the dot lower, so all the characters, irrespective of whether it is in lowercase letter or uppercase letter, they all be converted into lowercase letters. So now you look at this greet dot lower. So what you have, it is assigned to job. So job, once you print it, all the characters within the string object are converted into the lowercase letters. That is HALLO space BOB, right? That's what. And as you already know that this functions, library functions, will not alter the original string. So that's why even if you try to print the value of the original string, that is read, it will print the same string, that is HALLO BOB. That is what the idea. And if you want to change the right, change anything, right, you look at this one. I have not assigned this literal string literal to any value. Instead, what I'm doing is that I'm using the string literal directly, and I'm converting it, that is a lower. So the what is output, the high there, right? It will get directly converted because this string literal has not been assigned here. In this case, the string literal is has been assigned to a string object, right? But in this case, I'm directly using the string literal and convert applying the string, like the string library functions, and converting that into the lowercase letters. So this is what the string library is about. And calling a method is similar to calling a function. It takes argument and returns the value, but the syntax is different. We call a method by appending the method name to a variable name using the period as a delimiter. You look at this one. We are not we're not using the functions as it is. We're just using the function name. So, this is the string object followed by a delimiter followed by the name of the library functions without having anything else. That is what uh, the string object, right? Calling a method is similar to calling a function. It is very much similar to calling a function, but the syntax is different. That is, we call a method by appending the method name to variable name using the period as a delimiter, right? In case of the function, what you used to do is that we're simply calling the function with the argument list without appending at the end of the string object, but the method is being appended to the method name to the variable name using the period as a delimiter. So there are some functions which are very much of use in case of writing the functions. Look at this one, the string library function, that is string capitalized. That is all the characters will be converted into uppercase letter. Center, that is width and the fill character, and ends with, that is suffix. We're just searching for whether the character is it ends with if the string is ends with the given suffix or not. And find, that is find a substring in a given string starting it from this point to this point, whether you have a substring within a given string or not, right? So these are all the functions or library functions which comes with uh, the string library, right? So just to look at that one. And look at one more example of finding, like searching a string in a given string, or searching a substring in a given string. Who is the find function to search for a substring within another string, right? We can make use of the find functions to search for a given substring within a string. The find function finds the first occurrence of the substring. If there are multiple occurrences, that won't be searched. Only the first occurrence of the substring will be located within the string, and that is going to be written, or the position of that character will be get written. And if the substring is not present or found, the find function returns a -1, indicating that you have not located a substring in a given string. Remember that string position starts at 0, right? String position starts at 0. That's why the return value in this case is -1 if the substring is not present in the given string. Look at one example of the substring here. Substring, that is fruit is equal to banana. It's one example here. It's an object, string object, fruit is equal to banana. So I'm searching for a substring, that is any, in a given string called as a fruit. So I just wanted to know whether any, which is nothing but a substring, is it present in the string or not. That's called as a fruit. That is string position. If the character is if the substring is present in the string, it will uh, return the first index, or the first index of the substring within a given string, right? In this case, na has been located here. That's why the index is 2 here, that will get written. But there is a second occurrence of na as well. There is a second occurrence of the na as well, but it has not printed, or it has not defined, returned it, because it returns only the first occurrence of any, right? And let us look at one more example. A is equal to fruit dot find z, right? I'm looking for a substring called as z within a string. So there is no substring called as z. That's why it returns a value called as -1. That is, it is nothing but the unsuccessful search, or in other words, the substring has not been located within the string, given string it is. So this is how you can search for a given string or a substring within a string. For that one, we are using a method called as find function to search for a substring within another string, and it returns the position or the index of the first occurrence of the substring within the string, and if the substring is not found, it returns -1. And if you want to make all the characters into an uppercase letters, there is one more function called as the uppercase upper, right? You can make a copy of a string in lowercase or uppercase. That we, in the last example, we have seen it, right? Here what we have done is that we have converted all the characters to lowercase letters. Similarly, you can have an uppercase letter or the uppercase characters in the given string as well, so that you can make it here. So you can make a copy of a string in lowercase or the uppercase. Often when you are searching for a string using find, we first convert the string to lowercase so we can search a string regardless of the case. That you must remember it, right? Whenever you want to, before applying the find function, so what you're supposed to do, that either you convert the entire string into lowercase letter or uppercase letter, so that uh, there will be no case of case sensitivity. There will be no case of case sensitivity. So all of them will be uh, fine. We first like, what you do is that all the characters will be treated equal. That is what. So look at this one example. Greet is equal to hello Bob. So what you will do is that I am just converting that into uppercase letter, that is upper. So the outcome will be hello Bob. But try to remember that this even with the upper function, it is not going to alter the original function. Only thing is that it's going to return a string object, and that string object will be assigned to a new object as well. So in this case, the new string object is NNN, so I'm assigning it to new new string object, that is called as a NNN. And you can convert into lowercase letter as you discussed in the last example by using a function called as a lower, which eventually converts all the characters within a string object into lowercase letters. That is what the things. And you can also search a string substring in a given string, and also all the occurrence of that character or a substring will be replaced with something else. Replaced with something else. To do that one, there is one function called as the replace function. This replace function will replace every occurrence of a string substring with another substring. That is what the replace function is, like a search and replace operation in a word processor. What you're doing is that you're supposed to replace, if you want to replace each character, or sorry, each substring with another string, you can do it using a simple function called as the replace. It replaces all the occurrence of this search string with the replacement string. It replaces every occurrence of the search string with the replacement string it is. Look at one example of the search and replace. Greet is equal to hello Bob. So in this case, what I'm doing is that I'm replacing Bob with the Jane, Jane. So what you do is that greet dot replace every occurrence of Bob will be replaced with JNE. In this case also, it is not going to alter the original string. Instead, it returns a string, and that string object will be assigned to one more string object here, that is n string. And look at this one. The original string was HELLO space BOB. So after applying the replace, what I got is, I have uh, something called as a HELLO space JANE. Look at one more example of replace here. So every occurrence of O will be replaced with X. Every occurrence of O will be replaced with X. So now we have two O's, right? O, and here as well O, and both the characters will be replaced with the X. That is HELLX then B X B. So the whole idea is that you have to you can replace every occurrence of the substring with what an, another substring. So that is what you call it as the replace function. And if you want to replace or if you want to strip of the white spaces, what you can do is that you can use something called as the uh, or if you want to remove one white spaces, you can make use of the what you call it as a L strip for the R strip functions as well. Sometimes we want to make take a string and remove white space at the beginning or at the end of the list or at the end of the string. Uh, so L strip or R strip to left and right only stripe removes both beginning and the ending white spaces. L strip in the sense that it removes the white space on the left side, whereas R strip removes from the uh, right side, whereas a strip removes both the beginning as well as the ending strips. Look at here. Look at the example here. I have a space followed by HELLO, then a space BOB, then another space. If I apply what you call it as LS strip, LS trip, that is the left side trip. What I am doing is that, so I remove white space on the left side. So if I do RS strip, so I'm just removing the white space on the right side. And if I apply S strip, then I'm just removing both the character or the both the white spaces, left side as well as the right side, right? So that is what the whole idea of the uh, stripping the white spaces, right? There are three functions that you are using it: ls strip, rs strip, as well as the strip function as well. So ls strip will remove the white space on the left side, rs strip will remove the white space on the right side, and s strip which will remove uh, white spaces on both the side, that is the left as well as the right, or the beginning and the ending white spaces. And there are few cases uh, where you want to search for a certain characters either at the beginning or at the end of the string object. So in that case we can use the functions, right? There are few functions which are being used to search for a string or a substring either at the beginning or at the end. Look at this one. Line is equal to please have a nice string. So what I'm doing is that I'm just looking for whether the line or the string object starts with the please or not. If it starts with the please, then what I'm doing is that it returns a true value stating that your function has started with a true value, or it has started with a string called as a please, and whether it starts with a small p or not. Here it is case sensitive. This is capital P and this is small p. So it ultimately returns a false value, stating that it doesn't start with a small p or the lowercase p here. That's why the outcome of the starts with will be the false. You note that the starts with requires case to match to, so sometimes we take a line and map it all the lowercase before we do any checking using the lowercase letters, right? So what I'm doing is that I'm just checking for the, like, before applying the things, what I'm doing is that I'm just converting each and every character, right, by applying the lower function, then I'm applying the start with, right? Look at this example, right? So here we have p, uh, uppercase p, but what I'm doing is that I'm comparing with a small p, right? So in that case what happens, it will uh, give a false value. So what I'm doing is that I'm converting the entire string into lowercase letters. I'm comparing the entire string into lowercase letter. So what I'll do is that, so look at this one, this line dot lower function dot starts with p, then it will generate an true value. What happens here? It will convert the entire line, that's a please have a nice to, into lowercase letter. Then it applies the function, or it searches for a given character that is the starts with. In the last example, the method lower is called, and then we use starts with to check to see if the resulting lowercase string start with the letter p or not. As long as we are careful with the order, we can make multiple method calls in a single expressions, right? So the whole idea is that since it is a case sensitive um, searching here, or the mapping, so what you're supposed to do that you have to convert the entire string object into either into lowercase letter or uppercase letter. Then you apply these functions, that is a starts with or find or anything else. Look at this one, parsing and extracting. That is if you want to extract a portion of the character, right? So you can extract this one. So what I just wanted to do is that you have to, if you want to extract some characters from the list or from the string object, you can do it parsing as well as extracting. That is, you just have to extract from the given string. So look at this one. I have something called as from stefan.marker at uct.ac.za. This is what the string object what we have it. So what I'm doing is that I'm searching, or I want to extract something called as the uct.ac.za, right? So what I'll do is that I'll first extract the position of the at. That is, I'll just look at the position of at, that is find dot data dot find at. It has found the location, that is 21, that is it is at location called as a 21. So now what I'll do is that I'll just uh, locate the something called as the SSSPOS, that is find the position of the, what do you call it as, one more space at immediately after STOPS. It is that location called as a, it's that location called as a 31, right? So what I want to do is that I have to extract all the characters, all the characters beginning from 21 up to 31. That is, that you can do it using the data 80 POS, which is nothing but 21. That is from 21 means that I have to extract these characters 21 plus 1 u, then up to 31, up to 31, in the sense that excluding 31, from 22 to 30 all the characters will be get extracted. So which is nothing but uct.ac.za, uct.ac.za, right? So this is how you can extract a portion of a string just by making use of parsing as well as extracting. And the format operator, that is one more operator we have it, percent sign, allows us to construct string replacing parts of the string with the data stored in variables, right? Using this operator you can construct the string as well as you can replace the parts of the string here as well. When applied to integers, plus is the modulus operator, right? As you already know that the percent sign, which is nothing but the modulus operator with respect to the integer, but when the first operand is a string, percent is the format operator. That is, you are just, if the first operand itself is a string, then it is obvious that you are applying the format operator. The first operand is a format string which contains one or more format sequences that specify how the second operand is formatted. The resulting string, the result is also a string. So look at this one. The first one, for example, the format sequence percent %d means that the second operand should be formatted as an integer, right? So what is that? The percent. the percent of uh, camels means that the second operand is treated as a integer. It is nothing but the decimal point, right? Camels is equal to 42. The percentage, the second operand, is treated as a character, sorry, integer. That is going to be printed on the terminal. That is 42. The result is the string 42, which is not a confused with the integer value 42. Now it has become an string, right? It is no longer a integer. Instead, it is a string object, and followed by a format sequence can appear anywhere in the string, so you can embed a value in a sentence. Look at this one: camels equal to 42. So I have spotted percentage camels, then percent camels. Now the camels will be put into the percent tree. Now what I have spotted 42 camels. So it is very much similar to your formatted input and output that we have seen it in C and C++, right? So we are writing percent T, percent F and all the things, right? So where we are just specifying what kind of data you are printing it. And here what you are doing is that you're printing the or you're just putting these camels into this percentage. The camels is an integer, so but once you format it, the resulting output is a string, right? The result is a string. That's why the output is I have spotted 42 camels, which is nothing but a string. So the following example uses one more example here. Uses percent format an integer, that is percent g, to format a floating point number, and for a percentage to format a string. So that is exactly what you have seen it in the C and C++, right? Uh, Look at this one. In the each one of them will be mapped. The first percent d is nothing but 3 will be get mapped with percent d. G is nothing but the floating point number, point one, and percentage, which is mapped with the camels. Now what I have in 3 years, I have spotted point one camels, right? So one 3 is an integer, point one is a floating point number, and camels is a string, right? And similarly, you look at one more example of the things here, right? Percentage, percentage, and percentage. The number of arguments what I am passing, or the number of formatted values what I am passing is 1 comma 2, but it is insufficient, right?